Cameron, I feel like we should do a science experiment.
What did you have in mind, Tor?
I feel like why kids just wander around the halls instead of going to class.
Yeah, I feel like it gets boring.
I think we should test how slow their heart rate actually gets, because technically they're walking. But don't you think they're really bored doing it, so they're really calm?
Yeah, maybe it's just real slow.
And it's something they get in this deep sense of, maybe it's like meditation almost.
It's not. There we go. We just proved it. Walking the hallways isn't bad. It's meditation.
I think that should be our hypothesis. Walking the halls is actually really good for your health.
Yeah, and it's good for your learning too.
That's why we do it every week during transitions.
Yeah, that's really actually what the purpose of this is, not for eagle's eye or anything.
It's really cathartic. It really gets us through our week. At the end of it, we just get to walk around the halls, finding a good place to shoot.
Yeah, it's really, I look forward to this all week. I came to school just for this today.
Speaking of science fair experiments, there was a science fair.
Yeah, there was. We have that, I guess. We should have entered.
We should have, yeah, with our science fair experiment.
We would have won.
I think most definitely, but we didn't because we didn't go into it. But why don't we check out some of the other people's science fair projects?
Hi, I'm Samantha here at the District Science Fair, here to talk to students about their science fair projects and teachers of why it's important for kids to start getting involved with science. So let's go check out the science fair.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dr. Dietrich McGriff, and I am the science supervisor for the Norristown Area School District. What we have this evening actually is an annual event that really celebrates STEM in our district. This is our district-wide science fair showcase, and what we have here is actually a number of boards. If you actually turn the camera, you can see tons of science fair projects.
My name is Aiden Hagner, and my project name is Why Do We Need to Wash Our Hands? The purpose of the reason I wanted to do this project is to show you how easily germs are spread.
Hi, I'm Jeffrey McQuillan, and my project is called Colorama, and I'm trying to find out if temperature of water affects how fast food coloring dissolves.
So science fair is really good because it allows students to start to explore the essence of the scientific method. It also allows them to start working on projects at a large scale over time. It allows them to go back and start seeing how they can make changes, make their product better. It allows them to go through a process, right, which is what we ask for students to do at the high school level and at the college level, is start going through a process, not just doing it one time, but going back, revising, seeing what worked, what didn't work, and making sure that they're actually getting a solid answer that can be repeated over and over again.
Hi, I'm Kayla Sparks, and this is my project. I did what is the effect of carbon on a certain amount of nitrogen for the making of compost.
Hi, I'm Andrea Ritter. I'm an 8th grader at East Norton Middle School. My project was how do substances affect the pH balance of water?
Hello, my name is Haja Jallo, and I'm in grade 8, and my science fair project was candy chromatography, which is pretty much the patterns of color and dyes.
Districts, science fair projects are mandated in our district, and it's a huge reason why. It's because it's one of the most challenging and academically rigorous things that a student can do.
It's important for students to get involved in science at a young age because it opens up a way of thinking for them. It opens up a way of intriguing information that they can get involved in that excites them.
This is whiteboard. The purpose of my project was to see if solids can flow like liquids.
My hypothesis is if you do not clean your hands, then the germs will be spread to the object that was touched because the germs were not killed off by the cleaner.
So I wanted to see which combinations of newspaper and lettuce would make the most amount of compost.
It also allows them to see other projects that are being done by other students. That allows them to look forward to what's going to happen next.
The purpose of this was to see how different substances affect the pH balances in ecosystems and just how that has an impact on them.
My project was how does sleep deprivation and food deprivation affect your daily life?
So my hypothesis was that the organic fertilizer would work the best since it doesn't have any chemicals in it.
many Americans don't get enough sleep or eat properly. So I figured this has got to have an effect on how they live every day.
I researched that an even amount of carbon to nitrogen would create the most compost, and that was my hypothesis that I guessed.
It also allows them to really start exploring the world in multiple facets. They can look at it through the internet, they can look at it through hands-on experiments, they can look at it through microscopes, they can look at it through textbooks. It allows them to use multiple ways of actually trying to interpret what's happening around them.
So the materials I used were 4 pieces of bread, 4 plastic Ziploc bags, group of baseball players, soap and water, and hand sanitizer.
So what I actually did was I gathered my very few materials, which just consisted of a quarter, a sponge so I could get all the grime and grease off of the coin, and a lab notebook to record the data.
So using carbon, newspaper as my carbon, and lettuce as my nitrogen, I put them in different bags with different amounts, and I tried to see which combination created the most compost.
This year, though, we've added a couple other things. We've actually provided interactive stations. So what these stations allow our kids to do hands-on projects, and that will go in and tie in with their science fair projects.
So we have a mini aquaponics system here if you want to zoom in. And we've got a couple feeder fish here. This is a temporary setup. And you can see on the top, we're growing some plants.
Yeah, what we're seeing here is I'm going to butcher the name, Euglena, which is a single-celled protista.
So what the robot stuff is that we build robots and then we compete them throughout different competitions. So we're able to go into states and eventually go into a national competition for this.
So when I take this out of here, you'll notice right now it's boiling because this was at room temperature, so relative to minus 270 degrees, it's going to make the liquid nitrogen boil. If I take it out, okay, it's going to absorb the heat from the air surrounding it. You will see the little droplet of liquid air that's in there, and then as the air heats back up, the balloon will re-expand.
I'm showing what the Introduction to Engineering Design class is, all the work we do there, the design work. Basically, we design 3D models.
Science is everywhere around the planet, around the world, around them. So it's important they actually understand what's happening around them so they have a better, clear understanding of what their impact is on the world.
Life. So we tested like motor skills and things that you would do every day. So we tested card memorization, stacking of cups in like a pyramid, and throwing a ball and trying to knock down cups in as least tries as you can.
So technically all I did was take out the dies of pieces of candy and put it on a coffee filter and watch them change into different colors.
I flipped 50 coins each on 3 different surfaces. First I flipped them. Basically what happened was I started on heads and I flipped the coins onto a hardwood floor. I started on heads, I flipped them onto a carpeted floor, and then I flipped the coins starting on heads and caught them in my hand. Then I did the exact same thing, but I started on tails.
It's about people and machines that make products and help us for different type of things that we need and stuff.
Yes. And it actually turned out that way. So the bag with 2 ounces of nitrogen and 2 ounces of carbon, the equal amounts, created the most amount of compost.
So here's day 1, day 7, day 14.
So we tested in normal conditions, under sleep deprivation, and in food deprivation. And sleep deprivation affected the most tests. It affected 9 people, and food deprivation affected 4 people.
So with that, we just really have an evening of science. And so it really speaks to the power of the Norristown Area School District, all the things that we do and show our commitment to STEM in this district. And so with that, it's a great evening.
And after everything was over, I found out that neither heads nor tails is more common, but after I averaged out all the data, I found out that whatever side of the coin that was facing up when you originally had it, when you originally flipped it, that was the side that was more likely to land on.
But my hypothesis was incorrect. It seems like the smaller candies, which were the Tic Tacs or the Skittles, faster than the water, and the bigger candies like the M&Ms flew slower than the water.
So all the middle schoolers and elementary schoolers did such a great job this year. Their district science fair was amazing. We had so many projects that talked about so many different topics. So hopefully next year it would be the same. All right, I'm going to go check out some more projects.